I love it when you talk dirty.
That's the proper way to do it. Like for a woman, a unicorn, I feel like she should. Communication got to be a strong point, and I feel like if a unicorn is feeling one person more than the other, like say if she feeling a nigga more than a woman or the woman more than a man, I feel like she should make an effort to see if she can find a connection with the other person, because it's not just one person you're dealing with.
I feel like that's the reason why I don't really like messing with women long term though. Because I feel like that's when you're entering into messy territory at that point.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the communication got to be a strong point.
Nah,
and the effort got to be strong.
Yeah,
because
I'm not gonna mess with nobody long term to the point where she can grow into a preference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like you are here just for the experience of having two people.
But no, that's I guess what I'm saying is to see if it can be like a mutual or a genuine attraction for both. Because I feel like
if there's no genuine attraction for both, then there's no reason for me to fuck with you. But it's like that's the reason why I'm not really into the whole poly thing, because I feel like that's when you're treading into it's like you can say you're dual as much as you want to. You can say you have the ability to love multiple people as much as you want to. But I'm not gonna
Are you loving one person more than the other?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stick around to find out. I already have enough of my emotional
damage.
Not damage. I'm saying like I have emotional work to do in my own relationship, and this shit is hard as fuck. Just this. Yeah. So it's like I'm not trying to trail off and do it with somebody else and have to balance somebody else's feelings. Like we are here for a good time, not a long time.
And I feel like people can always tell, like, say if you are feeling one person more than the other, as far as like a couple. And the other person come around and they just feel like the energy is off. It's like, damn, when I come around, I don't feel like you having as much fun anymore. Yeah, it's like I'm fucking the vibe up, or you really don't want me here. You just tolerating me. And nobody wants to feel tolerated. Everybody wants to feel wanted and feel included and feel like, oh, okay, I'm the icing on the cake. Not like, oh, okay, now we got to be more reserved because I don't want to, make this person feel like they're not wanted around. And I feel like that do be the problem in most poly relationships. I feel like people come in, or unicorns come in.
I feel like that's a problem with triads. Now, if you had poly relationships where everybody is free to date, including the woman, you don't really run into that issue as much because everything is dispersed. If you're kicking it with or spending time with so-and-so, the woman has so-and-so and so-and-so to, you know what I mean, to fill in those gaps or to fill up that love cup that she needs. A lot of the times with female, male triads is the women are a lot of the times fighting over the men's attention because women are naturally going to be a little egotistical and jealous and all of that. So it's like that's where the problem arises, and men low-key love that shit, unfortunately. And
that's toxic. I feel like a man shouldn't love that. I feel like the man in that situation should be more concerned about how the two women bond and make sure their relationship is always A1 and connected in the right way. And I feel like the woman should be. I guess that's only if the two women are bi, because I know it is situations like in polygamy where the two women are not. I'm saying, but no, I'm saying like even if the two women like are not bi and they just straight, I feel like that even makes it harder because it's just like. Everything is just coming from the man, and like you said, a lot of times the man is just not responsible enough to what's wrong? Like is not responsible enough to make sure the women are happy with or with him, like to make sure like all the relationships are good.
Somebody's gonna want more. You know what I mean? And it's not dispersed evenly whatsoever. 9 times out of 10.
Like he's not responsible enough to make sure. Okay, my relationship with her is cool. My relationship with her is solid.
Now, and their relationship is solid.
Now, if the two women are bi, I feel like the men should use that to their advantage and make sure that that they relate, like they have to be in love with each other too. They should have like their own date nights. Now, I guess it was like a 2 male and 1 woman relationship. I I guess that'll be tough. Like, say if the two men are straight, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, how do they bond? Especially if they two alpha males. Like how
They
would that
don't
work?
have to. I feel like that's where it gets messed up is like because a woman, say for instance, there's a poly situation, and I'm just speaking out of just maybe like opinion and things that I've seen on social media, but most of the time the men don't even interact. Like they don't really necessarily interact other than a what's up, bruh. Like that's it. When I've seen it, it's been, the women and the man branch off. They probably bring a girl in, and then she brings a guy in, and they go off on their separate relationships.
That's why in a close triad.
In a closed triad.
Yeah, I'm saying two men.
That's what I'm saying. Triads don't necessarily like triads is a selfish act. Like I in my opinion, I don't feel like triads necessarily work for anybody. They can for short periods of time for a little fun.
But you feel like eventually somebody gonna start feeling somebody more than the other, or like their bond is gonna.
It breaks, or somebody's gonna want their own. You know what I mean? Because we can multiple loves and stuff like that exist. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but with triad, it's not. It's not evenly dispersed, especially when it comes to two women and one man, because women are naturally jealous. Women are naturally going to want the man's attention. Women naturally want to compete against each other. So it's like, even though they're bisexual and probably have their own thing, 9 times out of 10 bisexual women have a higher preference for men than they do towards women.
So you feel like bisexual women are usually more like attracted to men? That's what you're saying? Okay.
Unless a woman identifies themselves as queer or pansexual, and if they identify themselves as bisexual, I immediately think that their preference is towards men and not women. That's why I identify myself as queer.
Well, hold on. I thought you said you were more attracted to men, so I thought that's why you were bisexual.
That's bi.
Yep.
That's why. I mean, I feel like I feel like I'm more pushed towards queer because of the fact that, say, for instance, me and you don't work out. I don't think I'm doing men ever again. I
would just turn you off for men that fast.
I feel like the only reason why I've been with men in the past and now is because of the conditioning that I had when I was younger. If it wasn't for the conditioning that I had when I was younger, say for instance I was born 5 or 6 years later, I probably would have been I probably would have been just straight up fucking gay. No lie. And it's not because it's not you, it's not anything that's happened to me. It's not a trauma that I've endured by men or anything like that. It's the mere fact that I can see myself being in a loving, endearing relationship with a woman. Like,
so let me ask you this: what do you feel like is like the healthy recipe for a man and 2 women like close triad? Like, what do you think can't like? So you saying you don't think this shit is possible at all? In no way. Like it is not one way.
Not in this society. We're way too conditioned into the way of thinking that we have. It might.
What if they don't bow down to society standards? Like they created their own. Because I feel like
we all brainwashed in this bitch.
No, because I can't say that because our lifestyle, even people in the poly lifestyle, I feel like they not bowing down to society rules. Because it's like, if that was the case, people wouldn't be poly.
Everybody still has feelings and initial.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody still has feelings and initial instincts and things like that. I'm not saying that it's impossible for it to fucking work. I'm just saying it's improbable. Like the chances are very, very low for a situation like that to work out forever. I'm not talking about short term. I'm not talking about for a year or 2. I'm talking about for years and years and years, marriage and kids and this and that, without religion being involved. I'm talking about I'm not talking about the Mormon people. I'm not talking about Hoteps. I'm not talking about Islam. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm just regular folks.
The regular structure of it. Because I get what you're saying, but I feel like that can be problems in monogamous relationships too. Like I see, like a lot of the issues that people are concerned about in poly relationships, I feel like the same issues come up in monogamous relationship, and I feel like it's also a lack of communication. People being like open or poly relationships and quote unquote monogamous relationships, they don't even know that they in that type of relationship. So I feel like that's just relationships in general.
Yeah.
I feel like, because if you in a monogamous relationship, I feel like people find it rare that they can just fuck that one person for the rest of their lives. They probably find that out or start having like a midlife crisis and be like, damn, I made a fucking vow that I don't know if I can really keep. Like, damn, I said to death do us part, the same dick, the same pussy for the rest of my life. I don't know if I can do that. And then
how many men do you think would be okay with a woman being like, I don't feel like I can have sex with the same dick for the rest of my life? I feel like
it's men. Honestly, I feel like it's more men out here now in this society that would be down for it. I feel like they are scared to speak up on it though because of fear of judgment from like the society, the same society. Yeah. I do fear feel like I feel like if more women did speak up about it and was honest and also cool with their man having sex with multiple women, if they can have sex with multiple men, I do feel like more women will find themselves in situations to where that could work for them. I do feel like that the woman would have to speak up first though, because a lot of men are scared of what reaction they would get from the women. So, and the women the men don't want to be clowned by their niggas if their girls fucking other niggas, whatever, even though they get to fuck other women. I feel like it has to be a strong line of communication, and the women have to speak up first, because I feel like a lot of women don't think that men would be down for it, but they just don't bring it up. But I feel like it's a lot of men out there, or a good amount of men out there, that would be down for it, but it's just not talked about. Everybody kind of doing their own thing in private.
I feel like bitches just need to start cheating.